Woof! Literary love line.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, dog.
Hey! Hey guys, welcome to another installment of Literary Love Line.
Hi. Today we're going to be talking about intraracial relationships, especially within the family, and discrimination on skin color and how that can really affect relationship issues.
Yeah, something that we don't usually think of too much whenever the racial issue comes up is the group discriminating within itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of turns into this interesting look at how people look at their own group, what they see as better, what they see as worse, and it kind of turns into its own form of racism that it makes for a very interesting case.
Yeah, today we're going to be looking at a few different aspects of this. We're going to be taking callers from a woman named Emma who says that she's plagued from the color of her skin. There are a lot of family dynamics that are really interesting that she has found to be extremely damaging in her own life.
Then later on, we're going to be hearing from someone who refers to himself as Uncle Joe, who says that he has a niece that he really believes in and sees the good that she can do, but she doesn't believe in himself, and he kind of wants to explore that relationship.
Yeah, exactly. So without further ado, here's Literary Love Line, take 2.
Woo! Hey, first caller, we have an Emma here. What have you got going for us?
Well, I've always had this problem. And it's kind of something I can't reverse, even though we've tried to reverse it.
Is it like an STD or something?
No, nothing like that. I'm black.
Okay. I guess I don't really get it.
No, actually, I'm really black. I was born with really, really dark skin. And I've been told my whole life that that's really not a good thing, especially for a woman.
Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting. Who tells you that it's not good to be dark black?
Well, first of all, my mother. She's always, tried telling me that it would be easier for me to have fair skin, to be light skinned, and she always just seems kind of ashamed of me. And I really don't understand, how it's my fault that I was born, so dark complected.
Yeah, that sounds tough. So you have kind of a strain with your family relations then.
Yeah, especially with my mother and grandmother. My grandmother, she even told me that it would be easier for me to be a boy because, dark-skinned women aren't seen as beautiful.
So it'd be easier for you to be a dark-skinned man then?
Yes, I guess that's what she means.
Okay. I don't agree with it, but I guess I can understand where she's coming from. What about some other family relations? What's your father think of this?
Well, see, here's part of the problem. My father left, shortly after I was born.
Okay.
And he was the darker complected one in my parents' relationship. My mother has always had fair skin, and her whole family is lighter skinned. So I'm kind of
So it'd be fair to say that you got your dark complexion from your father.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well that, seems like it's starting to come together a little bit. What's everybody think of your father?
Well, they always said that, he left and that, he was no good and all this kind of stuff. But part of why I think I'm such the odd one out is that they associate my dark skin with his dark skin and he left. And, he caused my family a lot of pain, so.
Okay, yeah, I could see where they're coming from that. It's a tough thing. What about, you said something about it would be easier for you to be a boy. Could you elaborate on that a little bit? Where are you coming from with that?
Well, I think a lot of, women who have darker undertones in their skin are, they seem to have, black skin rather than brown or light, fair skin.
Okay.
I think they're not seen as beautiful because we don't necessarily associate ourselves with being more white. I'm not exactly sure. Basically, I just called in to ask you what you think I should do with my my family issues because it's getting really difficult for me to even associate myself with them when they are just ashamed of me.
Right. Well, do you have anybody around you in your family or a friendship maybe that does support you?
Well, I did have this boyfriend. His name was Weldon, but he pretty much just left, as soon as he, came to the realization that I was too black to be pretty.
Are you sure? I mean, that if he was dating you for, any sort of time period, what makes you think that he all of a sudden decided that you were too black?
Well, I don't know. Every single problem in my life has come from my skin being too black. And, it's hard for me to embrace it when everybody just sees it as ugly.
Well, if I were to guess, I would say that a lot of it isn't solely due to your color of skin. I'd say some of it would probably have to be your own self-image. And I know that it's really difficult to see yourself as having worth whenever everybody else appears to be seeing you as not as pretty, not as worthwhile. It's difficult when everybody around you is looking down on you. What I think you need to do is just latch onto the people that do appreciate you. Try to get an appreciation for yourself and see what grows from that. Try to surround yourself with people that support you. See if you can do something to win over your family. Just try to stay around, stay close to them, see if you can get some support from them. And otherwise, just try to get some self-confidence, I guess. Just try to get some confidence in yourself.
Yeah, just stay positive. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's the gist of the message without the whole minute-half description along with it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's definitely a lot to think about.
Well, I hope that it helped, and I hope that you start feeling better about everything. And I hope that you don't blame everything on your skin color.
Yeah, I'll try not to do that anymore.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Well, nice talking to you.
You too.
All right. Well, our next caller is coming up in a second. Bye.
Hi, we're on to our next caller. It says that we have an Uncle Joe with us, which is kind of a odd way to refer to yourself. Anyway, Uncle Joe says that he has always been one to encourage being different, and he has a niece that he's encouraged to go to school to be successful. So, Uncle Joe.
Yeah, everybody just calls me Uncle Joe. It's just easier at this point.
Oh, okay. Well, Joe, what did you want to call and say about interracial relationships?
Well, I think that I could just maybe give a little support to the notion that somebody out there is rooting for you. The last person you talked to seemed really down. Didn't seem like she had anybody to support her, but I'm in a somewhat similar situation, it sounds like, and I'm trying to encourage my niece to get out of the small town and maybe move to a bigger town where people are a little bit more open-minded.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. Have you yourself ever been discriminated against for your skin color, whether it be light or dark?
Oh, not so much. My family is a little bit more light-skinned, so I myself haven't had that terrible of a time with intraracial discrimination. I do see it from other members of my family. They're more on the offensive side of it. My mother is a part of what we call down here the Blue Vein Society.
And what Blue Vein? What is?
Well, it comes from, if you look at your arm, you can see that there are certain veins that appear blue. Mm-hmm. On a black person, on a really darker complexioned black person, you